What's up, everyone? I'm Andy. Welcome to the experiment. This is the third and hopefully final video on budgeting, at least from this space. I'll probably share more once I get on site. Previously, I walked you through my budget and showed you all of the anticipated costs in building a custom house. Then I detailed all of the ways that you could save tons of money on your land and building materials. But now I'm struggling financially, and it may mean that my project is paused for a short period until I get back on track. So, let's talk about financial struggles. Okay, so there are three main areas that are affecting my finances right now. Cost overruns, money holdback, and fixing, refinishing, or finishing things that I bought. Let's start with the easy one, cost overruns. In a previous video, I talked about the tricks I use to stay on budget. To quickly recap, I like to base my budget based on full retail pricing, and then I work to find them used, overstock, or on sale. That's how my budget keeps going down instead of up. Except in this case. Our construction was delayed by a few months when we were dealing with all the finances with the bank, and that pushed the construction right into the middle of winter here in Ontario. That means we had to pay for extra insulated tarping every single day. We had to pay for cement additives for winter. We had to pay extra labor because things are a little bit slower. They have to clear snow multiple times a week, and more. These are costs we had not planned for because we were supposed to be complete by December. And they are completely unavoidable unless we delay the project by 5 months, which comes with its own set of problems. Sometimes cost overruns are unavoidable and out of your control. It's your job to stay informed and try and mitigate as many of those cost overruns as possible. You need to know everything that goes into your house and make sure you have a plan in case things go sideways. This one just slipped through the cracks. It happens. But now I'm struggling to shuffle the budget and come up with the extra $6,000 that we incurred. The next struggle, and probably the most difficult and stressful one to deal with right now, is money holdback. So let's talk about the Construction Lien Act, because that is what is screwing me right now. And to be clear, this is not something that is universal. I believe they have something similar to the Construction Lien Act across Canada, but it is implemented in slightly different ways. And in the US, it is completely different. But in my case, here in Ontario, the Construction Lien Act requires that all new constructions, by law, set aside 10% of the funds you receive in trust. That means any money that the bank gives me, they withhold 10% for a period of 60 days after the work is completed. Let me explain this with my own build so that you understand it and see the stupidity in it. I needed $200,000 to complete the next phase of my build. The bank agreed to my $200,000 budget, but we only received $180,000, with $20,000 currently being held in trust. The problem with this, which is very obvious, is that I needed $200,000 to complete the project, not $180,000. The Construction Lien Act withholds that money in case I don't pay my contractors, but I need that money to pay my contractors. It's a very weird and ridiculous rule, and it's causing all kinds of problems with my finances. So if you are richer than I am, be sure to put aside $80,000 to $100,000 so you have access to funds, because you're probably not getting all the money you think you're getting. Finally, we have repairs and finishing. This may be less of an issue for you if you're not doing like I am and buying used or overstock or scratch and dent items, but things will go wrong on site and you will have this issue to some degree. In my case, I bought over 80% of my interiors at construction auctions, and that came with its own set of challenges. Most are minor costs, but they all add up. I'll give you a few examples. I bought 2 countertops at auction. One was a butcher block countertop, and the other was quartz. And both are kind of damaged. The wood countertop was completely unprotected, so it has scratches on it. That means I'm going to have to do multiple passes of sanding and then seal it in some way. The quartz countertop had a very rough and damaged front edge. So I'm going to need router bits to flatten the edge. I'm going to have to do a chamfered edge, then polish, and find a way to seal that as well across the entire surface of this quartz. That's a lot of work and some added expense. I have similar issues with my kitchen cabinets and bathroom vanities and some of my appliances. Then we have the finishing costs, and this applies just as much to renovations. We tend to budget for the big things, like tile, but we forget the thin set and grout and all of the tools that are needed to finish the job. There are tons of these little extras that we tend to overlook, like door handles and vent grills and paintbrushes and rollers. All of these little things add up, and in a full house, that could easily add up to a couple of $1,000s. There's also the rest of the finishes, like the trim around windows and doors, or window coverings, even if they're temporary, light fixtures, furniture, even if it's temporary, appliances and small appliances. If you're doing this like me, you need to live in the space while you're completing the work. In order to do that, you may need to build temporary things just to pass code. That's things like stair railings or decks, landings, landscaping, eaves troughs, laundry hookups and vents. All of those things add up. Okay, I hope that gives you a little extra insight into all of the weird and unexpected things that you may be responsible for with a custom build. I'm actually going to go away now for a month or two while the shell is being built. There's nothing else for me to share at this point. I may come back and share some drone footage, if I capture any, but the roof is going up today, so it may not look like much. Either way, please like, comment, and more importantly, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm going to be coming back in a month or two, sharing all of the details of the interior build of my house. So, I hope to see you all soon. Bye for now.